So because, we're doing this, this is our first episode over Zoom, and we're doing it because we're in lockdown. We thought that it was kind of important for us to talk about lockdown from a movie perspective and give you recommendations to what to watch over the next 14 daars, because that's how long that's how long right now.
Fingers crossed it's 14 days.
Fingers crossed it's 14 days. So we're in Australia, we're in lockdown. Well, in Sydney, we're in lockdown for 14 days. And we just thought it was, our responsibility to give you, the listener, the fan, if you will, the insight into our mind as to what to watch during lockdown. So, I mean, it really depends on the kind of person you are. I think we should really preface that first. Like, everyone's different, but
also no matter who you are, during lockdown, I would recommend you watch the Flickers podcast, because we'll give you a lot.
Watch it or you listen to it.
Watch and listen. We're on YouTube. So if you're more of a visual learner, watch the Flickers podcast, and it'll give you good entertainment. Better than any movie I can recommend. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, better than The Godfather. Better than 1,000 words.
See, that's the one I can't argue with, but definitely better than, like, I don't know, Godfather.
Better than Avatar: The Last Airbender,
where they call Aang. Yeah. Better than that. Yeah.
But anyway, we thought it was our duty to kind of give people some recommendations as to what to watch. And we actually got some things that we would like to watch too. I think that's also important, that, we're not just telling you things that we think are great. We also want to watch some shows. So if you hear us talk about a show that we want to watch and you've watched it, please let us know on our Instagram page at flickerspod, and we'll take it on board. But I think I'll start off, and I think a really important thing to watch is like a TV show. You can really get stuck in the next 14 days watching a TV show. Everyone's working from home, so when you're finished work, you can just go straight to the couch and chuck on a TV show. And for me, this TV show has been in my life forever. Like, I think Jesse knows what I'm probably going to talk about, but this show has been in my life since I was like a kid, and I've loved watching it. I watch it probably once every year, and I never get sick of all the twists and turns and all the drama that happens in the show. And that's the OC. I'm a big OC fan. I really love that show. And I just love all the drama that comes with it. It's set in it's for those who don't know, it's this kind of semi-rags to riches story in a way. It follows this character called Ryan, and he grew up in Chino, and he gets arrested for breaking and what do you call it? Stealing a car.
Stealing a car.
Stealing a car
Grand
with
Theft
his
Auto.
brother. Grand Theft Auto, that's the one. Sorry, yeah, thank you. He gets charged with Grand Theft Auto, and he's only about 16 years old. And he meets this lawyer, this public defender called Sandy Cohen, and he's like, "You're much better than all this. Like, you're better than what you're trying to do. Don't try to be an idiot, because you're not an idiot," essentially. And he ends up getting out of jail, and he goes to his mum's house, and his mum kicks him out, and he has nowhere to go. And then he calls Sandy up, and he's like, "Can I stay with you?" And then he moves to Orange County, which is this lavish
Newport Beach
area,
LA,
Newport Beach, and it's really like completely different from what he knows. He's rough and tumble, and this whole area is quite prestigious and polished. And anyway, there's like a lot of drama that ensues.
The boys,
that's kind of what happens in the show. Yeah, essentially that's what happens in the show. He ends up moving in with Sandy and his wife Kirsten, and they've got a son called Seth, and Seth and Ryan become like best friends. And Seth's a nerd, and I could talk about it forever, but like it's just a really great show to binge. There's like a lot of episodes in the season. I think it's quite rare that you get like a kind
nowadays
of drama TV show. Yeah, nowadays it's usually about 10 episodes in a season, 13 really good episodes. But this one, season 1's got like 26 episodes.
Yeah.
And there's like so many character arcs and so many characters.
Season 2 has 27, I believe.
Yeah, I think, I'm on season 2 right now.
Yeah.
It's got a few. I'm up to the bit where Julie Cooper-Nickel, for those who know her or are familiar with the show, she actually is being exploited because she was in a porno.
You're up to there?
I'm up to that.
If I've never had sex before, why am I so horny? I thought you said in the porno.
And one of the guys like, "Do you not remember me?" She's like, "No, sorry, I have amnesia." Yeah.
He's delivering pizza.
Delivering pizza, and then he goes straight from like from delivering the pizza to just having sex with her. Like,
Yeah.
There's no like build up really.
No.
I mean, not that porn needs like a storyline too much. You're not really concerned with that when you're watching.
Let's cut to the chase.
It should make sense.
We know what you're here to do. Come on.
There's so many things in that porno, like in that in that Julia Cooper Nickel porno. She's got amnesia and she's a virgin. Like, I feel like they should have really stuck with the one.
Well, maybe she's probably not a virgin. She just doesn't remember.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's kind of what they imply.
Yeah, it's a very layered porno, that one.
Yeah. Anyway, to get away from porn for a second, but I think as a show to watch during lockdown, there's a lot of episodes. Kind of what I said before. A lot of episodes, 4 seasons. Over the next 2-week period, you probably could like get through. I don't know if you probably get through all 4 seasons, but you'll get to about midway season 2, I'd imagine, and then you're already hooked. Like such a great show.
Yeah.
Seth is like such a great character.
Yeah.
Sandy is like the best. He's like such a great
the coolest
dad
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the biggest moral compass in the show. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just like he does the right thing nearly every time. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's not perfect, but like he's just like a really down to earth guy, and like he really relates with Ryan because like he's kind of the same.
He comes from the Bronx and
similar background and
Jewish poor.
Yeah, and then you've got the It Girl with Misha Barton, and she was like the biggest thing when I was like a teenager. Oh, when I was watching this, I wasn't a teenager then, but like when I started watching the show, she was like, the biggest thing since sliced bread. And then like you got Summer, who's like Seth's love interest, and it's just really interesting. And then all these things happen, and I can't really highly recommend it enough. Like it's a really great show, kind of in the same vein of like a One Tree Hill, or a Dawson's Creek, which was released before that. Kind of similar vein, like about teenagers going through things. You know what I mean? Like in that way. Have you ever watched Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, I tried.
Because I was going to recommend that to you. Said maybe you should. I've never watched it, but I
tried. I watched. I got through 2 episodes, and no muss. I did not like it.
but you're a big One Tree Hill fan, aren't you? You're a big.
Yeah. To me, like it's OC here, One Tree Hill here, just below it.
Oh, just below.
I love.
How many seasons of One Tree Hill are there?
That's the better thing. See, OC only has 4 seasons. One Tree Hill has 9. So
wow,
and they're all like. They're all 20.
All quality? All
25
quality?
Yeah.
Doesn't have a dip?
No.
Literally. The OC dips a little bit.
Yeah, the OC dips. One Tree Hill doesn't to me. I think the only thing with One Tree Hill is you can lose interest when you're binging it because there's 9 seasons. I can get to like season 7 and start dying off. But I'm
all about quality over quantity.
When I started it,
4 seasons good for me.
I remember I literally searched up shows similar to the OC. And it came up with One Tree Hill. So I'm like, this is cool. I started it and there was basketball in the first episode. I'm like, basketball, like you've got me. And so I'm watching. And then I'm watching and I didn't stop watching for like 3 weeks because I started it like a week before Christmas. And I didn't leave the house. I didn't leave our suburb that we lived in until like January 15.
You're a sad man.
Because I stayed home, literally binged the whole thing. I was up till like 4 a.m. Episode. Go to sleep at 4, wake up at 8, put on One Tree Hill. But then I hit season 3 and I recommended it to our brother Dylan. And then he started watching it. He did the exact same thing. He did the exact. He didn't stop watching. He just kept watching. By far, it is the most binge-worthy show you could ever watch.
What do you reckon's got a better song, a better opener?
Because
she's got that
California. Or you've got I don't want to be anything.
Gavin DeGraw.
And then he's in the record like shop, and Peyton comes up to him and goes, "Oh my god, you Gavin DeGraw?" It's like he does the theme song for your show, dickhead.
Obviously, they're not realizing that every day they wake up, there's a fucking song that comes on in their brain.
They do get some good like artists in there because they kind of come up with this like underage club thing for like.
Talking about the OC or talking about One Tree Hill?
One Tree Hill.
Yeah, because that happens in the OC as well.
Yeah, well, they have like this underage club. Yeah, they do, the bait shop. But they have this underage club in One Tree Hill that Peyton starts, and they get some pretty good musicians in. I think they get
like who?
Luco. He was big at the time. He was big in like 2006. Then who else do they get?
Push.
Yeah, that's the song he does, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. He Kick and Push.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Kick, Push. Yeah, it's a good song.
What else? Who else do they get? They got like Nickelback or something. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think the OC beats them for music. You got Rooney.
Rooney. The only reason Rooney is like a big band is because the dickhead's a Coppola. The main singer is Nicolas Cage's first cousin, so he's a Coppola.
And you got the Killers. I think that was just before they got big, but they do Mr. Brightside in there. And you got Sandy. Sandy sings. Sandy's got the voice of an angel.
But he's actually a musician.
Oh, Peter Gallagher's really. I knew that was probably him really singing.
So he was on this like he was famous before the OC.
I knew that.
Like this rock show. He was on this like rock TV show, and like so they all had to be like proper singers. So he was actually like a singer, and he did musical theater in New York.
Oh, he fucking killed it.
Yeah, so he was actually really good. He did have a really good voice.
But the funny thing about the OC and what you just said about One Tree Hill is that in One Tree Hill, you said one of the characters creates an underage concert thingy, whereas in like the OC, they go to the bait shop. But I'm unfamiliar. I'm not sure if that's for underage people or if it's not, because they drink alcohol. But then you can also order like a Yoo-hoo. You order Yoo-hoo from there, and it's chocolate milk. I'm like, what bar is selling beer and chocolate milk?
I know, it was a weird one.
With such a place.
Maybe in Newport Beach, you gotta
cater to everybody.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was like a really.
It's a TV show, man. Stop asking questions.
Yeah, it was just really quite weird. I was just thinking,
motherfucker burnt down a house and didn't go to jail. Okay, so
but that's because Kirsten's family owned it, so you shouldn't have to press charges. But so I think the OC for me is right now. I'm watching it because originally I was actually watching The Wire, and I finished season 1, and I love season 1 of The Wire. I actually probably recommend that if you're into something probably a bit more serious as well. And I got probably 4 episodes into season 2, and then I just was like, this is so heavy, I need something really light, and I decided to watch the OC. But yeah, highly recommend the OC. What about you?
Sure. My TV show would definitely be Orphan Black.
Really? I've heard of it. I don't know much about it.
So I hadn't seen this show for like, I haven't seen it ever, right? Up until maybe a month ago. And my girlfriend was like, oh, you should watch this show. It's really good. And it's like, it hooked me because there's so many twists and turns. And it's one of those shows where like, they don't like giving away everything and making everything pieced together until the last episode of each season. So throughout each season, it's just like, what? But then this guy did this. Oh, what the hell? He's actually him, And it's like all of that stuff. And it just keeps you like hooked. And the acting's really good. It's well written. Apart from season 3. Season 3 takes a fall, but then it picks right back up again. So it's okay.
Is it finished or is it still going?
No, it's finished. It's finished.
Okay, cool.
The girl in it, what's her name? I forget the actress's name, but she's gonna be Hulk in She-Hulk.
Okay, yeah, right. I can't remember her name, but I know
so she hadn't done anything since this show. It was crazy. Like she didn't do much beforehand. She did this show and she plays like it's about clones. And so she plays like 8 different characters because she's cloned. Yeah. And like each of them are so different. And I was like, wow, she's like really, really talented. And then she didn't get anything after, so it didn't make sense. But now she's playing Hulk, so her career's about to go.
Is it like a horror show?
No.
It sounds like a horror movie.
No. There are some suspenseful like elements, but no. It's more of a scientific thriller. If that's how you could put it. It's a bit
okay.
It's not quite like any show I've ever seen, to be honest. It's hard to box, but it's a thriller, but scientific, of course, and you're dealing with like more cloning and like scientific cloning and experiments and things like that. So that's more what it's centered around. I don't want to give away too much because I'm recommending people to go watch it, but I guarantee you watch like, give it 2-3 episodes and you'll just be hooked for like the rest of lockdown. You can watch this in a week, and then you can start the OC.
Yeah, the OC for the rest of the year, because how long it will take you to watch it, unless you're like, if you don't really have like a full-time job, you probably could watch it in about a few weeks. I
watched it actually during HSC a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was real smart. What'd you get in HSC? What'd you get in your HSC?
I only lost to you by 1.
Yeah, well, still. What do you call that when you almost win? Oh, that's right. Losing.
Yeah. Okay. All right, kicking and screaming references.
It's a great movie. Everyone should watch that during lockdown.
Yeah, watch kicking and screaming. And then going on, you're going to talk about a lockdown movie, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when I was thinking about lockdown movies, it's an art really to picking a lockdown movie. It's an art. It's an art form, because you've really got to decide, like, are you going to watch one movie, which is fine. You can watch one movie, but that's only like 4 hours. Well, not 4 hours. Sorry. That's only
4 hours.
2 hours. Sorry.
If you choose The Irishman, maybe, but
yeah, exactly. Like it could be like 2 or 3 hours, So, and you've got to be in here for 14 days. Like it's an art form to picking the right thing. And it's so ingrained that I'm going to try and give it to the audience, So, so I reckon for me, it's all about picking the right movie series. And there's a few you could watch. You could watch Toy Story. That's got 4 movies. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. You could watch those over a couple of days, and who
do we appreciate?
You're kind of done. Yeah, exactly. Who do we appreciate? Woody or Buzz? I don't know. Whatever you want. I'm not gonna pick it for you. Or you could go with like a Marvel, which has got like 22 movies, which would easily cover you for
lockdown.
And then from then you could also go watch the Marvel TV series. You can watch WandaVision. You can watch Captain America. Well, it is Captain America. Captain America and the Winter Soldier, aka Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Or you could watch Loki, which I'm currently watching right now, and we'll review later.
Yeah.
Or you could watch like a deeper romantic thing, like Before Sunrise, and get like a kind of insightful look into romance during lockdown, and then apply what you've learned from Before Sunrise and Before Sunset, Before Midnight into real life.
Yeah, go catch a train. Make your life better. And you might marry the woman sitting across from you.
Exactly. Or you could therefore you're like learning things, and then you can apply it. So it's like you're like in school kind of in a way, But for me, for me, I've been for a few weeks been wanting to watch this series, and I've watched it many times before, as I'm sure anyone who's grown up on planet Earth has watched this series before, and that's Lord of the Rings. And I love Lord of the Rings. And if you can get your hands on the box set of like the special edition, those movies go for 4 hours. So then you're easily breaking that. I used to have it, but we moved,
right? And then
I used to have all the exactly.
Mum probably threw it out along with my PSP, but yeah.
No, I have them here. I just moved, so I'm still trying to find it. So yes, I'm still blessed with those DVDs. But I think if you're gonna watch those, if you get the special edition ones, they go for 4 hours. So you can break that up into a couple of days, and then that's your 14 days done. But yeah, for me, Lord of the Rings is the biggest thing. I started it the other day. Just finished Fellowship the other day, about 2 days ago. I'm starting to watch Two Towers, which I think is personally my favorite one, because the Battle of Helm's Deep is like one of the greatest cinematic battles I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, and I'm eager to watch Return of the King. I'm not watching the special edition ones right now. I'm watching just the regular ones, but still, it's still quality. Like, they're just quality movies. Great acting. Viggo Mortensen is just a beast. I love him as Aragorn. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was watching it, and I was like, what does Legolas really bring to the movie? Like, Legolas doesn't really bring anything to the movie. I mean, like,
he was my second favorite character and my favorite
humor with Gimli. Him and Gimli like bring the humor, but I'm just like, even then, like, I mean, Legolas is a good character. I like Legolas. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, what does he really bring
to the
movie? I'm sure by saying that comment, people will be like, "This guy's a jerk."
Yeah, like you've had
glasses. Yeah. Even though I'm not wearing glasses.
He's a four-eyed jerk who knows nothing about Tom Holland. That's
me, the four-eyed jerk. That could be my next podcast.
You don't know anything about this guy you've never met in your life. That's so sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, go fuck yourself. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really eager to get into Return of the King. Gandalf is a beast. I love it when he's like, when they see him in the forest and he's like, they're like, Gandalf. He's like, yes, Gandalf the Grey is what they used to call me. He pronounces Grey and it's like weird, like Gandalf the Grey. I'm Gandalf the White. Yeah, no, I really love Lord of the Rings. It's funny watching it now as opposed to watching it like, back then when it came out, because you can see the differences in CGI quality.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you can obviously wrap your head around it. Like the obviously the quality now is so much better than it was back then. But I think like if they went back to the movies and just like they could easily remaster the movie and just like do up the CGI or whatever, and they could release it again and it would still look great, and they wouldn't even have to do too much because it's not even that like terrible. Like some of the CGI really holds up still, and some of it doesn't. But like, I mean, that's just time getting as technology gets more advanced. That's going to happen. But yeah, I just think it's a great series to really sink your teeth into. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, for me, you went ahead and stole my thunder, buddy.
Yeah,
by talking about Marvel. yeah, good on.
I didn't know that. You didn't say anything.
So, no, I'm just gonna recommend watching all the Marvel movies from the first one, the MCU movies from the first one through to what we've just had, plus the TV shows, because you're set. All of COVID, you're going to be set, and it's good to go back and rewatch. Like, I haven't really done that much. Gone back and rewatched all the Marvel movies from the beginning through to now. But I would definitely recommend it because I think you can forget and lose sight of every little thing that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so, like, I started it once a couple of years ago on the plane. They had like a Marvel thing. But I was on a 15-hour flight. I could only get through like 3 movies. So
that's still pretty impressive. Like
what?
Like 3 movies. Yeah, that's still pretty good. That's like, you like less than a quarter, but you're making your way. You're on your way.
Yeah. So I would definitely recommend going back and watching all the MCU films.
Is there anyone that you skip? Any movie that you skip?
That I haven't seen or that I would skip?
No, like
rewatching.
Yeah, exactly. If you're watching all of them, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna skip that one. I kind of remember that.
Iron Man 2.
Really? Don't like it?
Nah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't vibe with it. I like the first one. I like the first Iron Man. Iron Man 2 is just a bit of like.
I think Mickey Rourke gets so dudded in that movie. Like he gets like, I feel like they had potential to really like build up his character and make him quite a sinister villain.
Yeah.
And he says some really interesting things in the film when he says like, if you could make God bleed, people would cease to think he exists or something like that. He says something along those lines. And I was like, that's really, really cool. But then they just, bring him up with fucking bird jokes and then it's like, fuck him over so hard. I'm a massive Mickey Rourke fan. So I love Mickey Rourke.
I know. You'll always find the positive even in the horrible. With Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of horrible.
Yeah, there is. He's a great actor.
His quality is like up here, but his like, his shit is pretty shit.
Because I don't think he's completely worked out quality over quantity.
Of a condom? Is that what you're going to say? That's what it sounds like.
I was going to say quantity. And I was like, that's... But yeah, so definitely go watch all the Marvel films. I probably don't need to touch on what those are too much.
Do you have a favorite one?
My favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's really good.
The second Spider-Man. Far From Home.
That's a bit underappreciated, I reckon.
I really love Far From Home. I like the humor in those movies as well.
Uh-huh.
So maybe...
You think Jake Gyllenhaal's not used well enough in that movie? I think he could have been in the movie a little bit more.
Yeah. I would. Well, he is in the background. You just don't notice him.
Yeah, no, I noticed. Yeah. I was literally about to say that actually before.
Yeah. Definitely. I would definitely go with Spider-Man Far From Home is probably my favorite. That or Winter Soldier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Winter Soldier's quite good. I think Civil War for me is...
No! God, not Winter Soldier. Civil War.
Oh, Civil War.
Why am I here saying Winter Soldier? Captain America.
Winter Soldier's great too. That's a real big shift.
I meant movie. Yeah, Winter Soldier.
You meant Civil War. Civil War essentially is Avengers 2.0 though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's more of an Avengers movie than Age of Ultron.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. There's more people. Like, it's, I don't know. It feels like more about the Avengers than it does about Captain America. Like, obviously, it's about Captain America and Tony Stark, but for me, it feels like an actual Avengers level movie.
Yeah,
because it's like breaking up the Avengers. Like, it's really, that Civil War is really important into the context of the whole MCU when you've got Infinity War. Because you think about it, if Civil War doesn't happen, then they probably beat Thanos in Infinity War because they're not like separated, you know?
Yeah, that's true.